Hey guys, welcome to Not So Random Chat, the nighttime live stream where we talk about whatever we want to. So, settle in and grab you a libation. It could be your wine or tea or coffee or whatever you want to drink. And let's just sit back and chill. I'll be with you in a moment. Are you guys ready? Okay, well, so am I. So let's get into it. Here I come. Hola! From the west side. Can you guys hear me? Oh yeah, you can hear me. All right. Happy Tuesday. So it took me a minute to get on here, you guys. Let me get myself together here. Get my lighting, and let me see if I can come on camera. Okay. All right, you guys can see me. Get the headset on tonight. And let me just transfer my coffee into a coffee cup because 7-Eleven is not sponsoring this live stream tonight. All right, so now I got it in a coffee cup. Just 1 second. All right. So happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Shouts out to the replay crew, to those of you who are going to come in and listen to this on the replay. All donations are appreciated on this channel. Super chats, super stickers, super thanks that you can give on the back end in the replay, and Cash App is also appreciated on this channel. So now I haven't been on since last week, and since the last time I have been on, there have been 3 of the 4 sororities in the Divine Nine who have had our Founders Day. And that would be my own sorority, Delta Sigma Theta. Ooh! That would be, ours was January 13th. Then January 15th
which is also the actual birth date of Dr. Martin Luther King, is Founders Day for Alpha Kappa Alpha. And then yesterday, Monday, January the 16th, was Founders Day for Zeta Phi Beta. So it was a Founders Day weekend for the sororities. And it'll be like that again next year. It'll be like that again next year. Because of the timing. It'll be like that. So there's a few things that I want to talk about tonight. I want to get my thoughts out there. I know everyone has been getting their thoughts out there in regards to the Passport brothers. And we're drinking cappuccino tonight, French vanilla. And, I just wanted to kind of give my thoughts in regards to the situation at hand. So, unless you have been up under a rock, Passport brothers have been having situations going on, and they've got a reputation at this point. And the women in other countries are not going. Okay? Because unfortunately, although these quote-unquote Passport brothers that are, flying to, going to DR, going to Brazil, going over to Indonesia, trying to take their bonds, to other South American countries, as well as, trying to move to, Africa and Asian nations and everything. But here's the problem. They are not going to these places to discover the land, to appreciate these countries. What they are doing is going to these countries to have relations with women, under the guise, that women in other countries are more submissive, and that, they make better mates for them. But the problem is that they're not going out of the country to get a wife, like, they're saying. Now, I'm not saying that there are some men who actually, maybe going for a wife, but that's not what the majority of them are out there doing. They're taking their trash behavior that is not acceptable by women in this country who have standards, and taking it to other countries. But now they're finding that, oh my, guess what? Women in other countries have standards as well. Everyone has standards. No one's taking trash behavior. Now, there are women out there with passports who are going overseas, for relationships and maybe marriage. I don't know. But that's not who I'm talking about tonight. Yeah, I got a passport. I've had a passport since I was in high school. Because my dad and my mother wanted to make sure that if I never got to travel out of the country again in life, they made sure that I went out of the country to Europe. Now, me and all of my siblings have been outside of the country at one point or another in life, even if it was just to Canada or Mexico. You know, but there are many people, that are in this country that they never go out of a 7 block radius or a 10 block radius of where they were born. They live and die in the same area. And then we have these passport brothers like this Austin dude. Austin Hollerman, that are out here being pieces of trash in other countries. Hold on one second, you guys, because I am doing double duty over here. I am over here making a pizza for my son, and I think it's almost ready. So hold on one second. I'm gonna go off camera, and I'll be right back. I'm gonna go on mute too. Mute myself, and let me come back on camera. Okay, I think I'm on camera, but am I on mute? Okay, I think you guys can hear me now. Okay, cool. Alrighty, so I'm back. Had to take the pizza out the oven. It's not ready yet. Gotta let it cool a little bit for a second. Then cut it for him. So yeah, we're talking about these passport brothers who are taking trash behavior and taking it outside of the country. And what's going on is that the rest of the world is no longer going. The world's not going. Brazil has put these folk on warning because they are actually doing some quote unquote, maybe illegal activities. Maybe everyone is not of age. And then in Indonesia, they've made a law that you have to be married to be having relations. So they stopped that stuff in its tracks. And see, here's the thing. I think that these passport brothers were under some delusion that women in other countries were going to accept behavior or accept things that are not acceptable to women in this country. And I think that they're finding that the world is onto them. The world is onto this behavior. Now, we're not even going to discuss the palm-colored people who are doing this. We just gonna stick to the brothers that are doing this. Now, see, I know men who have passports, but their passports are not about, going looking for someone. They have passports so that they would be able to travel to other countries, One of my good friends from college has gone all over the world, and at various times, stayed in different countries for stayed abroad, become an expat, and then come back home. And see, that's one thing to learn about cultures and to appreciate and to get that breadth of knowledge. But these dudes are just doing this stuff so they can go F. And what you don't understand is that you're not necessarily getting the top of the barrel. You may be getting women who you're a trick for. And you're paying for it. And I guess you're not worried about, STDs or anything of that sort. Just saying. You're not worried about it. You can't be. But shouts out to everyone who has been dragging the F out of you guys all over TikTok, all over Instagram, all over Twitter, and all over YouTube. Because the behavior has really gotten out of control with you guys. And see, here's my thing. If this was really about going to another country and actually looking for a wife there and then coming back here with a wife or staying there with a wife, then that would be one thing. But y'all are just, going on escapades. On your vacation time. Because that's how you're using your PTO. And y'all are out here looking a damn fool. And you try to make it seem like the women in the rest of the world want you, brothers. They all want you. But do they? Do they really want y'all? Are you really, are you really, really this God's gift to the world of females that somewhere in your head you have come to believe? With those manospheric ideologies. Anyhow, what do I know? I'm simply a woman who has, quote unquote, hit the wall, and I'm gonna die alone, right? Isn't that what y'all? Isn't that what y'all say? But however, I've hit the wall, but I'm not alone. Not gonna die alone. I got a passport. My man is getting another passport. My son has a passport. We all got a passport up in this camp. What it costs $150, $160 to get a passport. But it's what are you doing with those passports? Are you using it to get yourself educated about world culture, as I said, visiting countries? Or are you just doing it for your escapades? Because nobody's buying what y'all are selling anymore. Nobody's buying what y'all are selling anymore. No one's buying. Not anymore. No one's buying. All right, so we're gonna move on past the passport guys. We're just gonna see what's gonna be happening because every day something new is coming along in regards to this BS. And now I'm gonna speak briefly on the Black Girl Follow movement. The Black Girl Follow movement is moving on. It is moving to the next level. It is now hit national television here in the United States. I don't know if it's hit international. We know that it's hit national and has been on NBC. And we also know that it's expanded to Black women businesses, and the brothers have jumped onto the train as well, as they should, and supported us. And the hating palm-colored women who had issues with it, well, they're just being drowned out. And it doesn't really matter about the algorithm over there on TikTok. We're trying to just blow it up. Now, at this particular point, I am working my way towards 10K on TikTok. And of course, I'm hoping that as I'm pushing my followers up to 10K on there, that I'm going to be able to translate some of those people over here to YouTube. Because y'all know, on YouTube, unless you're on here showing your behind, acting a fool, doing a bunch of drama and all that stuff, you're not going to have, 1 million people in your chat. You'll get people coming on on the replay. But it seems that the folks over on TikTok are looking for something different. So I'm hoping I can get some of my women over there to come and join me over here as well. Yeah. And vice versa, because many of the women over there, many of the people that are on TikTok have YouTube platforms as well. And so I'm trying to get this Black girl stuff to blow up onto all of the social medias, to push us up in all of the algorithms, so that like people that are of other are making all the money, so that we can start to share in that economics. Hey, brown girl Bella. Yes, and a happy belated Founders Day to you, girl. My niece was with her with my ex-sister-in-law at something in West Palm Beach on Sunday. She was with her mom and and her mom saw us. I told you my brother's ex-wife is an AKA. So they were at some stuff in Florida on Sunday, and my poor niece, she's enamored. But I mean, I'm not going to say that her mama's an AKA, so she's gonna probably play a JKA. It's alright, But we all had, yeah. I was just talking about that at the beginning of the show. This was the Founders Day weekend for 3 of the 4 sororities in the Divine Nine. We all had our Founders Day this weekend. I know that here in Los Angeles area, the Deltas actually went to Bruce Beach, which is the beach that has been given back to the Bruce family, whom it was taken away from via eminent domain in Manhattan Beach in the 1920s. And so the family has that is getting that property back. What the public is being told is that they're going to sell it. I hope that they would keep it and would just lease it out, but at least they have the property themselves and will be able to get a fair price for it, because they never were compensated for it before. They've never received any compensation. In addition to that, I believe that the city of Manhattan Beach is going to also give them some money. But on Saturday, the Deltas took a walk on Bruce Beach. So that was one of the things that we did on Saturday, because our Founders Day was Friday. It's a work day for most of us. So we did events on Friday night and on Saturday. And then on Sunday, that was y'all. And then on yesterday, that was the Zetas. So yeah, we were all doing our thing this weekend. And I tell people next year, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be the same thing. That's, except next year, our day will be on the Saturday, and you guys' day will be on actual MLK Day. Because MLK Day will actually fall on his birthday next year, I think. So yeah, we're moving past the passport. I'm going to move past them. I will come back and talk about them again at some point in the future. But the whole goal of the Passport Brothers was it's not an honorable thing. These dudes out there being tricks. They're out there being tricks. So now I want to talk about some of the things that I've been working on. So it is now it started in December, really. We're now in the season where film festival submissions are going in, and as I've told you guys, I've been in several movies, but we're getting ready to submit one of them to film festivals. And because I'm working also behind the scenes with this Black woman production company, I'm going through the process, with the producer and director. So we are, I've been working on getting everything up on the website, because there's, I guess, the way that they have it for to make it easier for filmmakers to get access to all of the film festivals, because there's thousands. Is is they have like a centralized website where we can go and find all of the festivals and submit. So we're in the process of submitting information for a women's film festival that's in the Los Angeles area, that's specifically for women producers, women directors, women directed, feature films, all of that, with women, with predominantly women cast as well. So our film fits the criteria for that. So we're trying to get that in this week. And the interesting thing in this process was learning how to compress digital copy of the film so that it can be submitted, because it's like, I think it's like a little over 90 minutes. And so we got that compressed. And then we're like putting different information in regards, having to upload all of the cast members. If they have an IMB, linking their IMB to that. I don't have an IMB. I need to start an IMB. It ain't done yet. It will be done, but it ain't done yet. I need to figure out that part. And it's just an interesting process learning about getting into these independent film festivals. So I got 2 days to get stuff done so we can get our first submission. And the producer wants to submit to at least 6 film festivals, and this is just the first one. It's going to be an interesting process, but it's exciting because we're just trying to get the product out there so that the industry can see it, get our product out, so that we can get additional funding, so that she can start having paid staffers, and some of us, not me, unless it's a whole bunch of money, can just do our artistic stuff full time. But as I said, not me, not yet, but I'll be able to do it part time, like I'm doing now. One of my streams of income, one of them. So I've been getting us into that, looking at just all of these different film festivals that are either online or actually on the ground, just opening back up as we're coming out of the last 2 years of everything. So been working on that over the last few days. Still don't have a new phone, y'all. I still don't have another phone, but I will have a new phone. Hopefully I'll have another phone by my birthday, which is in a little over 2 weeks, on February the 4th. Me and Rosa Parks. Yeah, Bella, me and your soror's birthday is the same day. Me and your soror's birthday is the same day. Me and Rosa Parks were born on February 4th. Except she's no longer here. I'll be turning 60, y'all. I have to keep saying it because I want the world to see that this is my 60. This is my 60. This is what I'm going to look like at 60, y'all. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that I do not look like I'm old enough to be somebody's grandmother. I'm just happy about that fact. All right, so let me get this thing to act right. So anyway, let me get this together. Okay, so moving right along. So I've given you guys a couple of the things that's gonna get talked about these little passport brothers. Talked about fun stuff, you know. Got an upcoming birthday. I'm hoping that I will be someplace other than California for my birthday. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how I can figure out how to make that happen. Yeah, yeah. Gotta make that happen. Make it happen. Cause I haven't been out of town for my birthday. The last birthday that I went out of town was over 10 years ago. The last time I went out of town for my birthday was over 10 years ago. Yeah, oh yeah, I'm due. I'm due to be out of this town for my birthday. I'm due. So I'm excited about that. But I hopefully will have a new phone within the next couple of weeks, because while I don't have a new phone, I'm kind of limiting the stuff that I'm doing on my phone. And y'all know that my phone is my camera. I vlog on it and everything. But you know, T-Mobile, they actually think that I would give them $600 to upgrade my phone when I can walk the F out of their doors and go to a whole nother cellular phone company and get the same phone for free. Yeah, so we're not doing that. So right now I'm looking at Consumer Cellular, but I'm trying to see when they're going to have my phone in stock again, because it's out of stock. You know. So that's what we're working on. Seeing when they're going to have it in stock again. Or seeing if I'm going to have to just take my butt straight to Apple and get my freaking phone from Apple. You know, just get a freaking unlocked phone and just move on. But I want to keep my freaking phone number, so that's the part I have to work through, because I've had the same phone number for over 20 years. I can't change my phone number. It's like I can't even fathom changing my freaking phone number. I can't, because I don't even know how I would figure out how to give the phone number to everybody that would need to have another phone number. So it's just easy to keep the phone number, especially since I own my effing number. I mean, every month I'm paying them to keep my freaking phone number. That it's my number, that I own it. You see what I'm saying? That so when I leave, I take it with me. You know. But yeah, I'm now on the bandwagon. It's time to change cell phone companies. It's time to move on after over 20 years. But I don't like T-Mobile anyway. I was a Sprint customer. I was forced to take T-Mobile because that's what was there. And I'm not really jumping up and down to go over to AT&T or to Verizon. So that's why I'm looking at consumer cellular, because I think that will probably just be the most economical for me as a senior. I think that would be the most economical for me as a senior. All right, so now I have something I have to debate as to whether I'm going to talk about this one. Let me think about it for a second. Now I'm gonna there's a situation that is unfortunately playing out on the platform, and several of the individuals involved in it are in Greek organizations. So yeah, I'm trying to just watch and see what's going on, and ain't none of them in my organization. Thank you, Lord. Hallelujah. Thank you. Thank you that there are no deltas out here showing their behinds on YouTube. That's all I can say. Unfortunately, it doesn't even matter. It's just for people to get on here and to kind of show their behinds, and then also represent that they're in a D9 organization. That part just doesn't look good. So I'm just hoping that this whole situation will just kind of roll its way along. But I am gonna make a comment about one thing that happened in this situation, because this is the part that pisses me off. The rest of it, I don't give a damn about. But one of the individuals involved in said situation got out here and called some children on the autism spectrum the R word. And see that, that's where I have to come in here and have say a little say. Ain't nothing you can say to me that's gonna make it right for you as a mother to get on here and say some ignorant ass stuff as to call children with autism the R world. Now, you didn't say it about my son, which is a good thing. But you said it about another autism mom's kids, and I mean, she dragged you for filth. I mean, and has done it several times, so she can take care of herself. But I'm going to say something, because every time I'm like, y'all are people who know me, and y'all know how I get about this. Don't get on here and don't get on here and pull the kids into stuff, especially children that fall under special needs. Now, I'm not going to get on here and drag you, because, as I said, you ain't talk about my child. And my child is an adult, and you'd still look pretty pathetic talking about an adult on the autism spectrum. You still look pretty pathetic. So, I mean, if you got an issue with the mom, hey TC, hey Shells, you got an issue with the moms, that's one thing, girl. But if y'all bring y'all asses up on here and start talking about these children, that's when I got a problem. You know? We're not doing that. Love you, TC. And thank all y'all for coming on through while I'm doing my little rant on here. And see, now here's my thing. See, you know what you said, ma'am. You know what you said. And when I'm talking about somebody who said some stuff, unless you personally attacked me and mine, I'm not even adding your name into it, because who cares? You know who you are. You know that you're in D9. You know that you're the one who called these children the R thing, doing the purge. I was there when you said it. See how that works? I was there. You know. And coming back and apologizing about it doesn't change it. We still are back to, but you said it. And see, here's my thing. See, there are a multitude of my sorors and your sorors who are speech pathologists and work with children and adults on the autism spectrum, because many of them, are in education, and that's what they do. So being in an organization that helps out, because I'll tell you, my sorority sisters are the reason why a lot of the stuff that my son got as he was matriculating is the reason why those things happened for him. Because anytime I needed something, I had 2 deltas with PhDs in speech pathology, along with my dad's wife, who is technically my stepmother, but she's only 8 years older than me, so there you go. My dad's wife, who also has a PhD and is my soror. I had all these ladies with PhDs in speech pathology around me that are Greek and belong to mine. And I know a multitude of AKAs that also work in speech pathology and work with children in the autism community. And yeah, sorry, Bella, it's your soror, girl. It's your soror out here showing her behind. But I don't care about her showing her behind. I care about her talking about children. And she's a mom. And I know people say, well, kids are not off limits when you're roasted and everything. Yes, they are. When they're special needs kids, yes, they are. When they ain't got nothing to do with the conversation that's going on. When it's between you and this other adult, what the F are we bringing kids into stuff anyway? I just want to know. I'm just wondering. Let me see what you say. I just found out yours is a AKA. Oh, really? Yeah. I guess that proves. No, most people don't. Most people don't. I mean, here's the thing. Most of us who are in in the Greek letter organizations are not paraphernalia Pete. You know, in my studio, sometimes you'll see in some of my videos, you'll see things behind me in the background that indicate that I'm a Delta, like a big ass thing that's got Delta Sigma Theta on it. Or you'll see elephants and things. But for the most part, y'all know my favorite color is purple. So I'm usually not wearing crimson and cream. Nor am I wearing my letters when I am on the platform for the most part, because this has nothing to do with Delta Sigma Theta. And I'm representing me. But there are people who are paraphernalia Pete about, and they're always wearing their colors forever. And there are some people that being in a Greek letter organization defines who they are. Being a Delta does not define who I am. It's a part of who I am. All the things that I am are who I am. A poet, a writer, a singer, a lyricist, an artist, an actress, all of that, a mother, all of those things. That's all me. And then I also am a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. But I don't generally lead with that unless I'm in a Greek setting. That's just how I go. But but I know a bunch of AKAs and a bunch of Deltas and a bunch of people in all of the different organizations that are on this platform, and the majority of us, you don't know that we're in the organizations unless it's around Founders Day. Then we pull all our stuff out and we flood all of our social media with that information. But outside of that, you probably aren't going to know outside of when it's our anniversary of being part of the organization or the Founders Day. Those are the only times that I say anything, for the most part, about my organization. Most part. But that's just me. And then too, I will have been a Delta for 40 years this year. And the place for me to act the effing, act crazy about being a Delta is a convention. Or at a regional, Those are the places. And that's generally where most of us, I would say most of the people that I know that are in Greek letter organizations, most of us, we show out at events. Then you will see a bunch of us in all of our stuff. Like when I'm at something, if it's a Greek event, then I'll find my crimson and cream. You'll see me with it on. I got stuff with my letters on it. But outside of I just don't broadcast it to the world all the time. I'm just not talking about it all of the time because, as I said, it doesn't define everything about me. But I am a Delta girl. Living in a Delta world with my 22 pearls, okay? And, I can show out when I need to show out. But for the most part, I don't bring that to YouTube. That has nothing to do with YouTube. And there's like there's a part of YouTube, there is a section of YouTube that is, the Divine Nine, where a lot of people in the Greek organizations hang out in. I find myself over there. But for the most part, I'm not even over there. I be hanging out, in other parts of Black YouTube. Like today, I was all up in the church sector, cause y'all, this whole situation. I'm laughing, but it's not funny. But this whole situation that they pulling King Jaws into all of this stuff with Larry Reed and Bishop Whitehead. This is just a messy situation. This is just a whole bunch of mess. And people naming the name of the Most High in the middle of their foolery. I just wish they would not. But y'all know, church folk are messy. And the ones that are on YouTube are real messy. The ones that are on YouTube are messy. So, yeah. But Josh got on here this morning. Shouts out to him for getting over 1K in the chat. It's too bad he had to get on here on some foolery to address some foolery in order to get, to get the 1K in the chat. But hey, peace, love. Yeah, but but like as I was saying, like a minute ago, yeah, most of us that are in the Greek letter organizations, we don't lead with that. Like when I was in college, yeah, I led with that. When I was in college, I led with that when I was in school. But after I got out of school, I didn't lead with that anymore. And you only it will come up in conversation, but when you're not at events, sorority events, and Greek events and everything, it's just not something that you bring up every day of the week. That's just me, because I'm just gonna say this. Most people, when they find out that I'm in a Greek organization, they know that I'm a Delta. They don't even think that I'm in one of the other ones, and that has nothing to do with the other organizations. It's pretty obvious. It's just pretty obvious that I'm a Delta. It's pretty obvious. Even though I have on pink and purple right now. What'd you say? You say you respect. I forget I'm an AKA until I see a sir with a shirt on and spell the day and I earn my bless. That's what I'm saying. When I'm like, okay, like I'm in a text group with my Sans, with the ladies that I pledged with. We have our own text group. Then I have a group me text with most of the ladies who came through my undergrad chapter. Okay. Then and then go to sorority meetings doing the year and all of that stuff. But outside of Greek events, don't nobody care that I'm a member of a Greek letter organization. They really don't care. They really don't care. It helps sometimes because I okay, like I know people in certain industries, you know, that I've been able to like reach out to here and there, like, you know, they happen to be Soros. But yeah, I'm like you, Peace Left. Being in a I don't forget that I'm in a Greek organization. It's just not how I lead. It's just not what I lead with. Most people know me now as David's mom, an autism mom. That's what they know. They know I'm an autism mom. They know that I'm a mom. They know I'm my son's mom. You know, because once you have a kid, once you have a child, your identity is so and so's mom. Your name goes away. Hi, David's mom. I got that and I still get that, you know, from the young people because they're being respectful. They're being respectful. What TC say? Yep. Let's see. Yep. Let's see. Trying to see what you guys are saying. I'm missing something. I think I said everything I was going to say in regards to that because I keep, you know, my personal opinion is that YouTube is not the place to be bringing Greek organization business to. I mean, it's just not. We have a whole segment on YouTube of people who are denouncing all of the Greek organizations, you know, who are setting the streets on fire by telling what's in everybody's different, you know, the quote unquote secrets. They're setting the secrets free through their, you know, denouncing of the organizations and everything. So there's plenty of stuff out there of the negative nature. But yeah, this YouTube ain't the place, in my opinion. It's not the place. I'm not doing any community service on YouTube. You know, I'm not moving towards fortitude on YouTube. I'm just saying, I'm not doing none of that on YouTube. Exactly. Exactly. And that's like, you know, we are what makes these organizations. The organizations do not make us. But I think we all know, most of us know that when we did go into the organizations, when we were in college, there were some people that's what they lived for. From that point on, that's all they've been. There's some people that's who they are. They just that makes them feel like a person because they're part of the organization. And you know, all I'll say is that you got some of them in every single one of the organizations. We do. That the organization is what makes them feel like they're important. I'm important without the organization. I would be important whether I was a Delta or not. You know, I would be making an impactful life whether I was or not. Girl, I've be watched. I've watched a couple of those things, and here's my thing. I've watched. I and because you are in. If you watch any of the stuff for the organizations, somehow they figure out who's in these organizations from stuff we've done on here, and you start getting, and the denouncing of the Greek letter organization just starts flowing through your stuff. I've had people denouncing the Alpha Kappa Alpha, people denouncing Delta, people denouncing SG Rho, Zeta, every one of the Divine Nine, and that's a personal choice. Come on in, come on, son. Here comes David. Come on, say hi. Say hi, y'all. Okay, there's the, say hi. Say hi, y'all.
Hi, y'all.
There you go. Yeah, I let him, yeah, hear that deep baritone voice. High fives. All right. That's my chocolate son, y'all. My chocolate boy. I love my chocolate son. Same with me, TC. I was always doing community service. All of the things that are me, that I did before and after becoming a Delta was things that were in me. Like I did a lot. I've done a major amount of community service in the autism community for obvious reasons. Done a major amount within that. And probably if I don't know if maybe if I did not have a child that was part of the autism community, I probably would not be as heavily involved in it. But I do have a child in the autism community. I also have a first cousin who's in the same age range as my son, who is also part of the autism community. Is also an adult with autism. And so, yeah, as an adult, a lot of my community service has been around that, or been around things within in church and in ministry. But, I understand what people are saying when they're talking about denouncing the organizations. There's a big one on here where Fred Price Jr. did, and he talks about all of them. And I don't even believe that Fred Price Jr., which is the late Dr. Fred Price's son, I don't even believe that he is part of a Greek letter organization. And I know that my pastor has touched on it a little bit, but both of her children are part of Greek letter organizations, as well as involved with Eastern Stars and Masons. So it's like, people are putting things out there, and I understand some of the things that they're saying about the quote unquote hazing that happened. I wasn't involved in none of that stuff. I will tell you, didn't nobody put their hands on me. Nobody ever touched me, because they would have found out. Who DC really is. because I wasn't that saved when I was 19 years old. And I'd have beat somebody's behind if they'd have tried to touch me. You know, but I can see, and right now, as we are around all of the founders days for all of the organizations, and as we are pushing towards February, this is when a bunch of them start dropping into all of our feeds about people who are denouncing all of our organizations. And as I said, that is a personal decision. And I can't speak for what's going on in other people's organizations, but I ain't never seen nothing, or anything that has put anything that I'm involved in a Greek letter organization before my Lord and Savior. Ever. Let me see. Yeah, I don't think he's Greek. Oh, you think he's a Mason? I don't know. Yeah, he might have been in. Now, see, that's a whole nother thing. See, that's a whole nother thing. I have my own thoughts about the Masonic organizations when you get up to certain levels in it, because I know people who are at those levels. And if you know what I'm talking about. See, basically, I would want to part. Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of things that went on in all of the organizations as far as the hazing. However, I would say the majority of the quote unquote hazing is supposed to have gone away in the 20th century. It wasn't even supposed to have come into the 21st century. In the 21st century, none of the Divine Nine organizations have a quote unquote pledge process. None of us have a quote unquote pledge process. I'm just saying it. I'm telling you that is we don't have a pledge process. However, you can't. What people do after they come into the undergrad organizations, of their own free will, when they know they don't have to, is Obama. I know Obama is part of the Skull and Bones. And most of us know that, and the Skulls and Bones and all of those organizations at Harvard, they are offshoots of Masonic stuff. And if you want to really think about it, some of the things that are within some of the Greek organizations as well could be considered offshoots from there. Hey, Terry. So good to see you, bro. Let me see. You had a band. Well, that's true. Well, I mean, like I'll tell y'all one of the silly things that happened when I was online. They told us we were told that we needed to get us that we had to get a snail, and we had to get a snail that was live, because that we were always slow, and that we were as slow as snails. So we did have snails. I drew me the tail of my line. I took a little piece of paper. I drew a little snail. I drew a picture of a snail, and then I drew a little bubble coming from him saying, "I'm live." Yeah. So every one of my line sisters, all 14 of us, had that little picture. We carried it around with us, with our snail that says, "I'm live." That was our live snail. Yeah. Because I wasn't stupid. I wish we would have gone and got some snails. I wish. And this was in the 80s, y'all. So, but yeah, they that the hazing. Let's see, you got band that puts people through stuff. You got the sports teams that do it. You have the fraternities and sororities that quote unquote supposedly, and I'm just gonna say that when it comes to the quote unquote hazing, the white organizations, they got that one. That most of that is them. Because our black organizations, even though they are large, we are huge organizations at this point. We can't afford all them daggone lawsuits. Because see, when the lawsuits start coming out for the black organizations, they hit our nationals. When it starts happening with these, with the white panhellenics, they run their stuff a little different than we run ours. Their stuff is kind of like, they have nationals, but their stuff is really just college stuff. After college, they don't continue doing stuff as after college. They don't. They're done. Let me see what you guys are saying. All right. Okay. Michelle said exactly, girl. They wanted us. I mean, when I was online as a Delta. Now this is something, y'all. When I pledged, there was a pledge process. When I pledged, there was a pledge process. There is no pledge process now, but when I pledged, there was a pledge process. So yeah, we had to get bricks, and we tried to not get real bricks, but they weren't going for that. We tried though. I'm telling you, we tried to get styrofoam bricks and painted them red. They weren't going for it. They was not going for it because we were going on probation. It was, so we had to go get real bricks, but we found the thinnest bricks. We found the thinnest bricks we could find. I'm telling you, we found the thinnest bricks we could find. Yeah. It was, yeah. And we had to find 14 of them. And I know that's like a little line because I was on the West Coast, we have little lines at the PWIs, and I know that the lines at the HBCUs is 20, 30, 40 girls. Because I have friends that were, when I was pledging at USC, they were pledging at Hampton, which is where I started in college. So, I will always tell you guys that I experienced an HBCU and I experienced PWI. And if I had to do it over again, I would have stayed my ass at the HBCU and then come to California, because the PWI was a culture shock for me with people who look like me. The people that look like me, it was a culture shock. It wasn't. Yeah, I transferred to a PWI because I knew that coming out of college, I would be in situations at times as I moved up where I was the only black face in the room. And I needed to know how to deal with palm-colored people because I grew up in D.C., okay? And although I speak the King's English because y'all know I have a 12 years of Catholic school education, and so I'm well spoken, and I know how to keep my DC accent from coming out. However, I had grown up in a predominantly black environment, and I did not have a lot of palm-colored people around me. In the environment that I grew up in, palm-colored people were the minority. They were the minority in DC. They probably aren't now, but they were at that time. So my 18, 19-year-old brain's thinking, I need to transfer to a PWI because I don't know how to deal with people. I don't know how to deal with them because I've never had to deal with them. So I did that. So yeah. And that was a good thing for me. I'm going to tell you that was a good thing for me because I learned how to code switch in college. Y'all hear what I'm saying? I learned how to code switch when I was in college. So that when I got out of college and when I was in upper management and when I would be on the phone talking to people, the only people who would know that I were people who you couldn't tell. And as a matter of fact, I would have coworkers who were managers in other offices that weren't sure if I was. And I knew that they were, but they weren't quite sure if I was. And I remember I had one coworker who was a manager in Atlanta at the same company that I was at. And we were having a conversation one day, and he finally said to me, he said, I want to ask you something. He said, and please don't get offended. He says, are you black? Because he could, my, my government name, it doesn't give up my ethnicity. Doesn't give up my ethnicity, obviously. My parents didn't give me a special name, and spell it special. No. I'm named after my dad. And so is my brother. And all of us me, my sister, and my brother, all of our names begin with the D. Hmm. But we have, regular names, So, and I know how to sound non-ethnic if I need to on a phone call. I know how to put on that radio voice or whatever it is I need to do. You can't always tell when we're speaking. It's not that obvious. But it was very funny that he asked me that, and I'm like, and when he said, I said, well, I'm not offended. I said, but I think it's funny that you had to ask me because you weren't sure. I said, that's a good thing. So that was fun. That was funny to me. But that was my whole purpose of going to a PWI. But again, if I had to do it over again, I would have stayed my behind at an HBCU and I would have worked it out when I got out of college. Because yes, making friends with people who did not look like me in college was helpful. And yes, going to a PWI was helpful in the fact that because I went to USC, going to USC means something on the West Coast. Okay. And there's a lot of people that went to schools like USC or UCLA. And sometimes that helps you get a job. And I will say, having gone to USC got me a job on multiple occasions because the person who I was going to report to or the person that they report to went to USC too. One of my bosses told me that he hired me over everybody else because I went to USC like he did. So, hey, Icy, how are you? Yeah, so it means something from that point of having gone there, but if I was looking at it like from a national standpoint, I could have gone to the University of Maryland, which is also quote unquote a PWI, College Park. Eastern Shore is the black part of it, but the College Park one, which also has they also have an international outside of the United States. University of Maryland is globally known. Let's see, USC is it's impressive to a lot of people because it's well known but it's more recognized in the West. On the East Coast, it's not as recognized. People know we are the other University of Southern California. Then you have the other USC, which is University of South Carolina. Now, let me tell y'all a funny thing that happened when I was in college. So, when I was in college, apparently, USC, University of Southern California, and University of South Carolina, the other USC, used the same company for doing the papers for the school. And so we got the papers for the University of South Carolina one time, and they got ours. And it had things like Bethune-Cookman Hall and stuff like that were not located on our campus. I wish I had kept that because that was a classic. That was classic. People thought it was April Fool's. when we got when we got those papers at USC. People thought that was April Fool. That would have been a good April Fool's, though. That would have been a good April Fool's. Yeah. Yes, USC. And the thing I liked about when I came out here and went to USC really is that I hate to tell y'all that I was comfortable at USC, even though it was a PWI, because USC in the 80s, USC was in the hood. Okay. Now the campus has bought a lot of the property around USC, so it's a lot of it is university owned now. But when I was in school, most of that property around there was not owned by USC, and USC was in the hood. And I lived in the neighborhood because I could blend in. I could blend in, and it was cheaper than on campus housing. So yeah, that part. And it was funny because even though all of us were black, 'cause I lived in we lived in a house off of campus. All the people in our block knew that we were USC girls, but they were so happy that they had all these black girls living in this house on their street that were going to that white school down the street. The people in the neighborhood loved the fact that they were seeing, because in the 80s, and I'd say even now, it's probably even, they started to get more blacks coming to USC again, but between the 80s and coming into the 2000s, the numbers had started going down because it cost a car to go to USC per year. It's like $50,000-$60,000 a year. It might be more than that. And when I was in school there, it was $8,000 a year. Or maybe, was it? Yeah, it was $8,000. It was $8,000 when I started, and by the time I left, it was $10,000. Yeah, it costs way more than that now. But let me say that was the 1980s when I was in school, and it cost twice as much to go to USC as it cost for me to go to the HBCU. The HBCU was half of what USC cost in the 80s. Now, I'm sure the everybody costs a car payment. Costs a car now. Are there any colleges? Are there any colleges where people can go to college for like $10,000 a year anymore? I don't think those schools exist anymore. But I forgot. There's one free school, one free university in the United States that's accredited. It's called, and I mention this, I keep mentioning this because people don't know about it. It's called the University of the People. Go look it up. It's accredited by the Department of Education. It's 100% online, and it's free. It's free. So I'm just saying, if there's anybody out there that is looking for an excuse, I just took it away. That's one university. It's completely online. Let me think. Obviously, it's only been around for a minute, but they do have a famous student there, Simone Biles. That's where she's going to college. She's going to college at the University of the People. But yeah, go look it up. Yeah, not the brick and mortar school. That's what I'm saying. I don't think there's any 4-year institutions that are brick and mortar. And the one school that I just named, that's one school in the entire freaking country that I know is 100% free. Then, of course, you can go to Coursera and you can take free courses from like all of the major universities. They all have courses on there that you can take for free in like any types of curriculum. I took a guitar class from the Berklee School of Music. I took another, I think, a music theory class on there before too. But yeah, there's lots of free education out there, lots of it. You know, but you know that's the one thing that I had to get, that I did like about Bernie Sanders, is that he was pushing for free education. That would be so freeing in this country if our kids could go to college for free. If a higher education was free. There are a few countries in Europe that all the way through college is free. It would be nice if the United States took that road. And I'm wondering, and here's the thing, if we did have free education through college, how many people would actually go to college? Would that increase the amount of people who are seeking a higher education? You would hope that it would. You would hope that it would. But I just gave y'all a school that you go to school that you can go to for free. University of the People. Go look it up. I promise you, it's free. It's free this year. It was free last year. It was free the year before. I would suggest people check it out while it's still free, because we don't know if it'll be free forever. But it's free right now. And it's a real degree. I'm just saying. And it's not a degree in basket weaving. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. I know I've been on here rambling. I've been on here for quite some time. Ooh, I've been on here for almost 2 hours. Jeez Louise. Y'all know I can talk my butt off. But that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I have lots to say. But let's see, tomorrow, gosh, tomorrow I'm going to be working on trying to get this film submitted. But I think I'll be able to come on and do some of my own stuff. I'm trying to finish up watching something that I want to talk about that is in regards to autism. And it's a series. I'm going to tell you something. It's a series that is on Netflix. It's called The Extraordinary Attorney Wu. And it is about a I hate to say high functioning. It is about an autistic woman who is an attorney in Korea. And I'm almost through it. It's like 16 episodes. There's only like one season of it so far, but it's really good. it is, in my opinion, it's a better depiction of a person on the spectrum than The Good Doctor, which is on ABC, which is an adaptation of another Korean show called The Good Doctor that has been Americanized. But The Extraordinary Attorney Woo, I'm almost finished with it, and I want to talk about it when I'm finished with it, because I'm starting to see more shows that are showing our kids, and when I say our kids, I mean our kids on the spectrum as adults. So people are remembering that autism does not end at 18. It is a lifetime different ability. I don't want to call it a disability, because it is not a disability for everyone who has autism. For some with autism, it is a disability. For my son, it is a disability that we are pushing towards being just a different ability, because he keeps everything in. He has a photographic memory. A lot of people with autism do have photographic memories. But the fact that he has a photographic memory means that he can read, but he doesn't read out loud. So who knows what he can read? I know he can read the Bible. I know he can read anything he chooses to read, but I don't know at what level he's reading. So that's things that I have to work with him on to bring certain of his abilities to the forefront. But these shows that are being put out are showing a more positive view of people on the spectrum, and is allowing the world to see that inclusion with people on the spectrum is most important, and that even when you think they don't understand stuff, they understand more than you know, especially if they're an adult. So anyway, y'all, I'm gonna try to come back on tomorrow. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna schedule it first thing in the morning, and hopefully I'll be able to do it tomorrow, and I won't have to just keep pushing it back or cancel it. I'm gonna try not to cancel it. I'm gonna try to just schedule it and just make it for like late enough so that it's after everything that I have to do in regards to the film festival stuff that I have to do tomorrow. But if I don't come on tomorrow, I have to come on tomorrow. I will come on tomorrow. I don't know how long I'm gonna be on, but I'm coming on. Just leave it at that. All right, you guys. So let me see if I can get the see if I can get everything. Let's see if I can get to this. Things are moving slow. Okay, there it is. Okay, cool. Nope, it went away again. I swear, I think it just depends on which system I'm on. This is so irritating. Okay, there it is. All right, you guys. All right, so I will see you guys tomorrow. But until then, I offer you guys peace and blessings from the West Side. I'm out, you guys. Peace. Bye.
Well, guys, that's it for tonight's Not So Random Chat. But I'll see you guys the next time. Until then, peace and blessings from